So today it's all about preparing those goat maternity pens. Wait, what? Oh, we missed it. Oh, look who's escaped. Connie, you are teaching your children bad manners. Yes, you are. You know, I'm just walking along, putting the goats out, and then bam! This is what I find. That is an elephant hawk moth caterpillar. Isn't it cool? That is properly cool to see this guy. I'm going to move him somewhere slightly safer because he's going to get stomped otherwise. But these guys turn into the most beautiful moths. The turtle dove is calling. And there he is actually. Well, we're getting to the stage now where we're quite close to a goat birth. And it's fairly obvious who's pregnant and who's the furthest along, and it's Pi. But it's most obvious in the morning because after they've been grazing all day, they pretty much all look pregnant because they just eat everything. Whereas when we come in the morning, they've just got their ad lib hay. It's a little bit easier to tell. So if I scroll around to the hungry hordes that are awaiting, good morning, I know you want to come out. So here's all the boys. This is Pixie. Am I pointing at Pixie? Yeah, this is Pixie. And you can see in the morning she's fairly thin. She's not thin, that's just Anglo-Nubian anatomy for you. But then if you scan over to here, to Eve, you can see there's a little bit of a bulge on Eve, so she is pregnant. But then if you look at Pi, hello sweetie, Pi has definitely got some baby weight on her, haven't you? She's got also quite a nice udder, and she's also quite puffy at the back end now. So Pi is our furthest along, Eve is our next, and then I'm fairly sure that Pixie is pregnant. She's very early on, so I'd say she's maybe only 3 months or something. But let's let these guys out so they can go and roam around. And also we need to do some fixing because look, they have ripped down the entire front section of their caravan. So we need to fix this whole front end back up. At the moment it's not a problem because it's super warm and there's no rain. But as soon as we get rain, obviously, they all need this to be mended. I must come up and deep litter the caravan just in case they go into labour and they have the babies before I've moved them into the maternity pen. So yesterday afternoon was deep litter the caravan, set up maternity pens. So came up in the evening to deep litter. Everybody came in apart from Pi, and she was over here and she was crying. So I came out of the caravan and she started to walk towards me, and then I heard meh, babies, or to be more precise, baby. So this is all very last minute. I don't even have any bedding, so I've just gone and scraped up. I literally just used my last bag of au bois in the caravan. So I've just scraped some of that back up. I've got remnants of hay. I'll have to go and do a run tomorrow to get bedding in hay. So I'm just going to leave the little chap in there. And then I'm going to move her over to the maternity pen, and then we will check him out. We'll check her teats. And then we will go on a hunt and see if we can actually find where she gave birth. She's a little bit unsure about this weird thing trying to suck her boobs. I know. Forgotten how loud baby goats are. He is getting a little bit, I think. Come on. Just don't move your legs, love. He will relieve that pressure if you let him drink. Come on, quickly, try and get in there. Or have you had enough? Try and get in there while she's still eating. That's it. Just... Pie, you've got to let him drink, love. Otherwise I'm going to have to get in and hold him on there. I might actually do that. Because she's never had babies before, she doesn't understand. So I might just get in and hold her and let him suckle for a bit, and then she'll work out that he's actually relieving the pressure. He is pretty persistent. I couldn't get her to hold still when I went in, but I left them alone for a bit. I've just come back and he has had a nice drink. So I think what we'll do now is I'll just step back and let them do their thing. She just needs to get used to him suckling, which she will. She doesn't really know what's gone on. Well done, Pie. Didn't take you long, did it? He's a bonny wee lad. Good girl. So I've been unable to find where she gave birth, which is not surprising, as they have about 7 to 11 acres to roam. So I have no idea. All I know is we've got one healthy mum and one healthy kid, which obviously, as you've seen, we've now moved to the barn. Now I'm presuming this was a really clean, simple birth, because by the time I found the little one, he was completely dry, and Mum was also clean. There was actually nothing on her back end to suggest she'd given birth at all, which was quite the surprise. She's doing it really well. There's the little one. And she's not in bad shape. So often when they first give birth, they look a bit hollow. But actually, she looks pretty nice. She's got tons of milk, haven't you? And she's being very protective, which is good. So all in all, for a first-time mum, it's all gone rather swimmingly. Oh, my eye is killing me today. So next up is Eve. I'm not sure when Eve is due at all, because although she's bagged up lopsidedly. So she's got one full bag, one full teat, and then the other side hasn't seemingly come down at all, which is a bit weird. Also, her back end is not swollen. Pie, even after birth, you can see it's kind of puffy. You can see there's puffiness around there. Eve doesn't have that at all. So I don't know whether she's pregnant, whether she's having a phantom, or whether she's going to just randomly drop triplets. So we will just keep an eye on her and see what happens. We will also make up another maternity pen in here. And I don't know whether to bring her in and pop her in here in another maternity pen or just let her do her thing and fingers crossed. Now, my other major consideration now is how to run the flock. So up until now, it was simple. All 9 of them, so 5 wethers, 1 billy, 3 nannies, ran together. It wasn't a problem. The billy got the nannies pregnant and they were just out in the field. Now we've got babies and we've got tuppable nannies again. So I don't want her obviously to get bred and pregnant again too early. A lot of people suggested that that won't happen while she's got a small kid and is lactating. So we'll see how that goes. Luckily, he's a boy. If she'd had baby girls, I'd be more at risk of running them all together again, because as the girls then came of age, they could potentially be got at by their dad. So I'm quite happy that he is a boy. So we'll see. So if any of you run your goats as a herd all the time, please let me know your thoughts on how to do this. I'm going to be keeping her in here for probably a couple of weeks, and then I'll move her to a bigger pen, and then I'll start milking her at about 6 to 8 weeks. And obviously, because he is going to be free ranging with them, I want him to be big enough so he can kind of not get lost. So this is where now things get a little bit more tricky in terms of running them free range with kind of babies in the herd too. So we're going to call this little dude Gaspode, and that is because a dear friend of mine lost her beloved doggy, who is called Gaspode. So he's going to be named after him. Now, we're not keeping any of the kids. I want to keep the herd confined to the 3 nannies and just the 1 billy. But we're going to be registering them all because they're all pure Anglo-Nubians and they will be sold on. So although Gaspode is named after my friend's dog, he will go on to be a breeding buck. But the nice thing is, in the breeding register over the years to come, his name will appear as the sire to any future offspring.